the inside scoop with Alex and Jeff.
I'm Jeff Doss. I cannot hear you, Alex. Dude, I got you now. Yes, I hear you now. What's up, Alex?
Whatever. All right, you got me now.
Yes, I got you now.
Look
so,
at that.
hey, now I know. Next time when I need to mute you, we'll just do exactly that. All right?
Ha,
Yeah.
ha. Whatever.
What's up, guys? How's everyone doing?
Yes, this is an interesting opening to the Inside Scoop, but we are back. Inside Scoop is back.
Yes,
Another
we are.
week. Here we are. Just you don't miss taxes and Inside Scoop. The only two things you know are always going to be there, right?
There you go. That's right.
So we're here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Oh man, did you have a great weekend?
Dude, I did have a great weekend.
Awesome. Me too, man.
It was fantastic. We're gonna
Yes.
get into a few things here.
Yes, we're gonna have some fun today. So
yeah, your boy pulled off the victory. Your favorite fighter, Jack
my
Felton.
favorite fighter. Yes,
dude.
Jack Felton.
You know what? I started thinking about this right before the first fight. We don't want to get too much into like all predictions of what we thought, because I gotta tell you, I mean, CTE did a phenomenal job with that.
Yeah,
they
did.
I love Carlos. Is my freaking favorite.
Yes,
on the show
yes,
now.
I love
He's my
Carlos.
favorite. All right, but I gotta tell you, right before the virtual fight tour started, I started thinking about it. I was like, well, I made my predictions.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you remember me telling you about the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
How I always pick the wrong team.
Right. We talked about that when we did our original fantasy thing, and we picked. Yeah.
So I started thinking, I'm like, I might have jinxed these guys. I think I might have jinxed them. Right? Because it's like over 20 years of me picking the wrong. Because you got a 50-50 shot. Right? So I started telling people, like, hey, if you want to win some money,
there you go.
Just wait till I pick something. Pick the opposite. You're pretty much guaranteed to win some money.
Right.
So Emma goes out there and she wins. And I think,
all right,
that's good. I got it. And lost
every single one after that.
And yeah. Emma, I gotta tell you, she's my fighter of the night, man. She really was. And I don't know her, but it's kind of hard to say, she's the fighter of the night after you have so many awesome ones.
Right.
But
Anthony
movement, and Brandon.
Yeah, her movement, the control, the way it was great. Yeah.
But Sabia was really good too.
She looked calm though. That was the difference, I think. And and everything that she did looked like it had a purpose. So
the best kicks of the night were Emma and Jack Felton.
Yeah.
By far.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
So I picked Anthony. Brandon wins. I picked Java. Obviously, I talked heavily about that one.
Yeah.
Jalskar wins.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what were the other matchups? It was
Romani and
Romani and Darren.
Yeah.
I picked Darren.
Yep.
Romani
so I ended
wins.
up being 3-2, and you were
because you picked only because you and I picked the same on one match. You and I both picked Java.
Yes, we did. Yeah. And then I picked, so I lost that one, and then I lost Sabia. Yeah.
Because you picked Sabia.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah.
And then, it came down to the final one. I got to tell you, there's certain times when people like set things up and they do like a really, really bad job. And then the fighters bail them out by having a phenomenal fight. I got to tell you, the previous regime of the Battle of Atlanta was notorious for that. There was it was like 4 years in a row where it was just run really bad,
Yeah.
Everybody there just had like a really sour taste in their mouth about how the event was going.
Yeah.
And then just
Then the finals would be great.
the finals or the final match
Yeah.
would just be so amazing that
Right.
it made you feel like you were an idiot if you missed this event.
Correct.
Right. But yeah, so and this was kind of like that, I got to tell you.
Well, I mean, it was ran well though.
Oh man, ran
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah.
But
every fight was amazing, and all the fighters. Yeah.
I would never. I was no way I would have guessed.
Right.
Every single
Right.
match would have been
Right.
that close, and then that well run, that well fought.
And now we also have one of the judges watching, so we can talk about how bad we hated the judging. Just kidding, Akin.
Oh, okay.
Akin's watching. No,
You know what though?
Honestly, I thought it was great. I thought it was good.
was trying because there was a couple. I think there was a couple in like Virtual Fight Tour 1. It was like a couple of matches that I was thinking, ooh, I would have called something that way. I really can't think of anything
No. I mean,
egregious
I thought
whatsoever.
No,
there might be something where it's like, I mean, that could have went either way, and you really didn't even feel anything about it being one way or the other.
Right.
But I really can't think of a moment where I'm like, yeah, they missed something there. Not even one bit.
Right.
But yeah,
Robbie
that was
just
fantastic.
put up, I wonder why everyone thought Yoskar was going to lose. Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
I'll just tell you, and I'm not shying about it. Everybody has something to hang their hat on. That
right.
they're really good. And it's not like, we thought Yoskar was going to lose. Of the whole group in the Martial Arts Internet Network, I'm probably the guy who's like just looking at Yoskar going, I don't get it.
Right.
And it's okay. It's all right. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people have said whatever, but I'm looking at I'm like, I don't get it. I don't see how Java doesn't just kind of pick them apart and go to town.
Right.
But all right, whatever. Yeah, I got egg on my face, but that ain't the only fight I got egg on my face. Everyone,
yeah. So
hey, thanks Emma for making sure I don't
you
get
oh,
skunked.
Yeah, you didn't have
Yeah,
the big
if
O.
it wasn't for her, I'd be the worst.
Yeah, I mean, all of us look at things differently. I know for me, some of it is, what they do, but a lot of it's like their experience and how they've come
Right.
back from behind and how they've won over people that maybe are more talented than them, and Java to me is amazing, but I knew it would be close. I didn't think it was going to be, and that was for me, especially seeing Yoskar, and even like the weekend before watching him fight, I was like, I got to started getting worried. Like this match is going to be a lot closer than you were thinking. So it was a great fight. So yeah, I mean, awesome show. Thanks Jesse again. Great job to CTE for commentary. It was great. I know for me, it was a little hard with the camera switches. That was the only thing. But I know what they're trying to do, and I think it'll work out.
Even though there was the camera switches, I still feel like I didn't miss points, though.
No, right. There was a couple of times, like where we, from our camera view, like when I think Romani fell into the cage, we couldn't really see that very well.
How he fell in?
Yeah, So
no, I remember feeling like I saw he got his face. Wait, yeah, I think he hit his face.
But the way the camera was, like, and when it
we
switched,
were getting
it
his
went the other
backside.
way. Yeah, we're getting the backside. So like certain things like that. And again, I want a score, at the bottom and time there. I think that will be there soon. So that way we're always, updated. So I think, each time something new is going to happen. So it's pretty exciting.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was great. All right, so we're going to do something fun. So right now, everyone, especially during the pandemic, has been on TikTok. And so
the tiki-taki.
The tiki-taki. So we are going to I just looked up the top-rated martial arts ones, sent them over. And then I looked a couple that pop up on my screen that are maybe ones that we know or ones that are close, to that.
I took a break from the Tic Tac. I haven't watched it in a while.
I haven't either, but yeah, man, that's let's see what we got, and we're just gonna kind of do our reactions and share what we think about it, man. And you guys share what you think, laugh, whatever. If you have some that you want to put up that are funny, and it doesn't have to be just TikTok. It could be Instagram as well, some Instagram videos. I know I didn't have time to push those out there as well, but if you want to put those in the comments, put your favorite Instagram video out as well on there. So, all right, here we go.
Who is this? Who is this?
So this is your favorite.
Oh, it's Chloe Bruce.
Yeah. All right. So Oh, we don't have the music.
What
Yes,
is
we
she
can.
doing though?
Hold on.
We don't need it.
Well, no, you do need it because it doesn't make sense. All right, hold on. We'll see if we can get this working.
I'm probably gonna like it less. Just being honest with you.
Oh man, you're terrible. Let's see. See if we can figure it out. Director. I don't know if we can or not. Oh, here we go.
No,
Not working
no,
all the way through.
not.
All right, so yeah. There we go.
I don't get it, man. I gotta tell you, I don't know. She's okay. Listen, she's doing really high, like twist kicks
Still
or
no. I mean,
or
unless
inverted
people
kicks.
on there here.
Yeah, that's fine. Listen, if
All
everybody
right,
else
so
hears it,
this
that's
is
fine.
yeah, and your mic's muted. So.
Oh.
All right, we're trying new things, guys. We're getting there. So that one is.
No,
Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
get. No, yeah, I hear
No?
you. I hear you.
I can't hear you now, bud. All right, Alex. There we go. So what that video was her doing twist kicks to the Bop It. You know, you ever played the game Bop It?
Yeah, I played it.
All right, so that music is going on. It's going bop it, twist it, twist it. So every time she went twist, she did a twist kick. She did a round kick when it was bop it, twist it, or whatever. So
Yeah, I like
that's
it less
something-
now. I like
You
it less now.
Dude. Twist kick's not bad. So that's
No,
one
let's
that
see.
she
No,
has,
see.
so
Wait a
it's
minute,
cool.
though. Her twist kick is not bad,
Right.
but for someone as physically talented and as gifted to do that, she should be able to do that without moving her body.
Okay.
She torques her body when she does that.
Yeah.
It's all over the
I
place.
get you.
Oh,
I get you.
wait. Do you move your body like that when you do yours? When you do your twist kick? No.
Okay. I got you. All right, let's try out this next one. I don't know if we're going to get the music. Here we go.
Okay. Who's this?
All right, this is Q and Tornado right to
See, now this
Jason
one
Bareilles.
is slick.
Boom. Yes.
This is one of those times where just Jason's commitment kind of just got the better of him. But what was so slick about it, I got to tell you, man, this one's dope. Because he's in the corner and Jason gets him there right before he does his final attack. And Q Dumlau goes off to the side.
Right. He doesn't stay there. He almost like angles in the air.
And I can't tell what tournament this is based
AKA.
off of looking at it.
Yeah, this is
okay,
AKA.
okay, this is AKA.
Yeah.
And
this is when it was WSKF.
Okay, so this is probably 04, right?
Yeah.
So you could tell people are like right there, right on the edge of the ring there, it seems like. So he couldn't even go back out of the ring. This one's dope. This is great. Way cool.
Yeah.
Way cooler than the other.
That's a good one. Now,
all
right. So now this is
this?
All right, this is
shut the front door.
So this old Asian guy, man, and he has all the top, because I guess, you know, he's there in Asia and there's millions and millions of people.
No freaking way.
Well, it's not real. He didn't really put his foot in there. It's like it's some of the
what I
stuff
mean?
you
It's
can
like-
do. Yeah, he's making it look cool. Now, if he can do it like that, that's
No,
insane.
I don't care. All right,
don't
so it's
think
not
so.
real. I still love it.
Yeah. So
I still love it. This dude
This
throws
guy
his
has
sneaker
all of
in the air.
yeah.
Does an inside crescent
He has
kick.
like the highest rated ones. He has the most viewed of any martial arts ones. This
Grandpa
guy.
Lee.
Grandpa, yep, the grandpa.
What's his name?
Xiling 111.
All right.
All right, so we'll go to the next one. I think it's another
That
one.
was freaking cool.
All right, so
who's
this
this
guy,
guy?
it's the same guy. So watch this old guy. Boom, and split
Shut up.
with a broom.
See, he's got too much energy for how old he is. He's just moving around doing stuff I feel like I would have done when I was 11.
Yeah. This is like what?
Because he's got an actual broom. He's
got
doing
a
the
broom.
stuff that you did when you saw a bow form for the first time, and you're like,
Correct. You go
I
and
want
get
to
the
do
broom.
this. And you go and you grab a broom, except he knows what the heck he's doing.
Exactly.
And
yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
So
he's 127 years old.
Look up his stuff, guys, because
This
he
dude's
has
awesome.
some great stuff. Yeah, he's awesome. So pretty cool.
I love this dude.
All right, this is.
Now,
This
I
is
actually saw this guy.
Yeah, this. So
And this, so here what we're watching.
this is great, especially after our interview last week, right?
I see I see, is that a Jamaican flag in the back? I can't
Yes.
tell.
Yes.
All right. And so he's clearly on either on the Taekwondo team or aspiring to be. And I will give it to him. He's got endurance. He doesn't stop kicking. He's got
speed. Yeah, he doesn't
He's
stop.
got some speed. I'm not really in
that,
love with the technique.
No.
And I'm pretty certain you could stand there and just take every single one of those shots.
Right. Some of them are loud. I listened to it.
Listen, I actually did.
Pretty hard,
I stumbled across this video.
Right.
I did. I stumbled across this one.
But there and some of those, like, all right, he does a 900. He does think that's cool. That is awful to me. You know, those are the type of things I think
so this
that
is,
Linda was, that Arlene was talking about. Like certain stuff that tight, you know, and doing the hook kicks that aren't going to do anything, that type of stuff. It's not going to, it's not gonna do anything. But
see the speed, the timing in between each kicks,
right,
is the same as old school Olympic Taekwondo.
Yeah.
The difference is those ones would knock you the heck out.
Yeah, correct.
I literally feel like you could stand there and just be like, all right, this is gonna be a body conditioning test, and you could take pretty much all of them.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one.
Don't want to hate on the guy. He's all right.
All right, all right. Have you ever seen Chinese self-defense? This is the best, and this freaks me out. It freaks me out because it's a real spear. Yeah.
So we're watching a spear. Yeah. So for those of you guys listening on the podcast, here's what's happening. They got a spear, and this woman's trying. It's obviously choreographed because otherwise she would have been dead. Yeah. But she's trying to like maneuver herself around using kung fu wushu, and it is fan-freaking-tastic.
The part where they do, every time I watch this type of stuff, it freaks me out because I can't even watch it because
deflecting it with her shoulder.
Yeah, one small mistake and you're stabbed in the face. You're done, son. Yeah. It's crazy.
I
didn't watch this whole thing. I only watched half of it before.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. This is great.
Dope. I've always said that's the one martial art I wish I would have spent a little bit more time practicing. I really didn't spend any time practicing Chinese martial arts. This one, all right. This
Arlene says she loves those. Yeah, the two-person fighting forms. It's awesome.
It's so
it is.
I can't do it. Yeah. I'm not saying I won't try it, but wow, it is unlikely I'm gonna pull that off now.
Right. All right, let's go to the next one. All right,
what the heck are we watching?
This is ninja dancing.
Stop. It's like two guys dressed up in 1497 ninja costumes moving, looking like they're MC Hammer. What the heck is this?
And
this is horrible.
Fighting with the dance with this is
and I'm probably
terrible.
The music, I gotta tell you, it's gotta be even worse. This is the kind of dance where when you hear the music with it, it makes you want to punch a hole in the wall.
Yes. What's funny is I never put the two and two together. Ninja pants are hammer pants. Wow. All right. They are. Look at that.
No, they're called parachute pants first.
All right.
And everybody had a pair. Well, you never had a pair of parachute pants?
Yes, I did. Yes, of course. Everyone did.
I had one pair of parachute pants.
So that's a fun one.
And they were yellow.
I don't know what Miroslav. I don't even know how you say it. But
all right. It was entertaining. It's clearly entertaining. I like it. All right.
I
give it a thumbs up.
This is hilarious to me.
What?
He just names.
What is this?
Throwing a
Is it like a broom with like pads on the end?
It's like the American Gladiator thing, right? He just names all these. It just flipped it around.
He's naming movements.
He just flipped behind over his shoulder. Yeah.
What in the heck? He's got. Okay,
right,
wait a minute.
So a glaive, the spearman, he throws it. The lightning
underthrow.
Yeah.
What?
Break check. He just
Athena. All right, so the guy's
divine judgment. He's one of these. All right, let's be nice. Or
No,
not be nice?
I think the coolest parts is what he's naming them. That's
Yes.
the fun part.
The stuff
Because the
after
moves
is-
themselves,
it's
he's
just
basically
ridiculous.
he's just throwing his padded bow. The
Right.
ends are padded. He's just
Yeah.
throwing it across the room.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that he's hitting,
Just
it's completely destroyed.
so.
But
this is
the fact that he's coming up with the names of these things, divine judgment. He's still just spinning it and throwing it.
Let's just
the
go. All right,
Airbender.
listen. This is the nerd group. Okay. All right. Let's be honest. All right.
Hey, I'm all right. Now what is,
All right. This is a cool one.
what
so-
is this dude?
So each one, it was like earth, wind, water, and he does all kinds of stuff to it. So it's pretty cool. So in the water, he does that, which is awesome, and then he does
That
the
was the
snafu
earth.
swipe, and then
that's the
he does a
wind.
double leg hook, and then he does the
This dude.
yeah, I want to call it helicopter kick. I guess that's what it is. So he
All right, no.
swings his leg around all the way.
Do you know? Do you know who this guy is?
No, I have not.
Because his tricks
watched
are
his stuff,
fan
but
freaking
it's
tastic.
great clean technique.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Now,
look him up.
he
So
has
his
to
name
have
is
been-
F808Z.
He has to have been a sport martial artist, though. He has to.
No, I think he's I think he
Just a tricker.
a tricker, and he might be from. And he says, he might do some wushu as well. So,
So here's why I say that. Because
clean lens.
when you
yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
the how he lands and the
Yeah.
transitions afterwards, like right there when he lands in a complete
Yeah.
down to a knee, like right there. He
That
lands in a punch.
great stuff. Yeah.
He's landing in stances. This dude is dope.
Yeah, I like him. Yeah.
This
So
dude's
look
dope.
his stuff up, guys. All right. Next one. All right, here we go. Here's our man.
Oh, Mr. Viral.
So he's doing this
This
in the rain, on the sidewalk,
I would be too
He does
freaking
it-
scared.
laid out court, and of course he
He's-
gets all pumped up and yells, and that's why he is super popular right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That and the dude's got 0.5% of body fat.
correct.
Look at him go.
So I figured we
See,
end
he's-
with Shaquan. So
Oh
He,
my goodness.
yes. So
I
guys,
got a man
check
crush
these
on
guys
his
out,
tricks
support
right
them.
now, I tell you what.
Find out some other ones. There's all kinds of ones that we could probably put out. I have some. Matt Hemming have some. There's all kinds of different ones. But we'll do this again sometime. Maybe put out. And that was mostly TikTok stuff. There's a lot of good Instagram
dope.
videos. There's a lot of different, ones. So we'll do more of that soon. But man,
That was fun. I had
yeah,
fun with
it's
that.
fun to look
that
at
was,
something
That was
different.
cool.
So one of the things I like about TikTok is there's a lot of different features that you can do, kind of like the shoe thing, right? There's different, special things that you can do to make it, almost like CGI, right? And that old guy, he has one where he does like a slow, like kung fu form, and every new technique, the background changes to where he's in a different like country, and just cool stuff like that makes it real artistic like. So even with the guy with the airbender, that did the tricks, like he was doing some cool different stuff. So
10 points, Dragon Slayer.
but yeah, so that was fun stuff. So send us more of your TikTok videos. We'll
I
do
had
this
fun.
every now and then.
That was cool.
We'll,
Show us your TikTok
yes.
videos too.
Whose?
Anybody's. Yeah.
Oh,
listen,
yes,
you
yeah.
guys
Put
got
yours. Yeah, you got
Send 'em
yours.
in.
Put them in the
Why not?
comments below.
We
Let's
just
do
watched
it.
Dragon Slayer. We'll watch
yeah.
yours.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so next thing, do we want to get into
You want me to get into it?
that one, or do we
No.
want to get into the future of remember the other thing we talked about, the future of
Let's do the other one first.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go into that one. I'll just kind of mention it. So here's kind of what I've been thinking. You know what, Jeff? I had this conversation with some people in the past, and it kind of seems like the top 3 people kind of agree upon, but I was thinking the best lightweight fighters
Yeah.
of all time.
And
And so I was just like, we should really talk about that. Like, all right,
let's go through the eras. Let's go through
Let's
people
go through
that
the
we
eras.
think and then
who
start,
should be in it?
Yeah. And we want to hear
What?
you guys as well.
And then,
Start- yeah.
what is a lightweight?
Exactly. Especially
Who?
now.
Who would be considered the lightweight? Because we were talking about this. Are the welterweights lightweights?
Right. To me, I think they are. So
See, it's
especially
just
now
like-
when you have a lightweight grand and a heavyweight grand,
But that's
that's the split, and that's it. So it's
That one's
it's
dumb.
lightweights or
so
heavyweights.
dumb. You know what?
No, I
No,
know.
here's-
I think we need
here's
to
why.
have an
Here's
overall
why.
grand. I agree.
here's what happened. Okay, and it was I think Ross Levine was the biggest advocate for. What I was told from people behind the scenes that Ross Levine was one of the biggest advocates for giving the lightweights their shine, which was really dope for him because I
Right.
mean that was at the time when he was beating just everybody, right?
Yeah.
He was during his reign of you can't touch this, right?
Mhm.
Speaking of MC Hammer.
Yeah.
So and there was a lot of times where it would be him and Hamid fighting each other in the final, and
Yeah.
Hamid only beat him one time in the final,
Right.
right? And Ross won the other 11.
But you know also too what they were doing back then though, a lot of times they were putting so much forms on that they would just run it down to the final fight. They weren't even doing the semis a lot of times.
They weren't.
They would just do, and that was all you saw was Ross versus Ahmed. So I think in that aspect, yeah, I get it. But if you're going to at least have, the topper tier go against each other and the lower ones go against each other, and they go, all right, you're getting 3 fights,
Well,
but you weren't getting that at that
we're
time.
still
They were
not,
yeah.
but now we're still not getting that. Now all
No,
we're
you're getting
getting
2
is-
fights. Yeah.
We're getting 2.
Yeah.
I see. I
And
remember
then
though.
they put teams in, and then female, but
Sometimes they put teams in.
yeah. So
I don't even think teams wants not all the time. They don't even want to be in their own.
no, because they don't want to be there all night.
Right.
So
So like in there, I think about it. A team of everybody who finishes second place in their division. Now they have to go wait and be the last thing. Like,
Right.
let me get the heck out of
Right.
here. You've
Well,
already
I
ran the
I think-
overall champions
I
in the
think
beginning
making
of the tournament.
Friday, teams and open weight, and then you do those finals. Even if you want to wait the last fight and put it on stage and make it a big deal for that night, but Friday night is teams and open weight. Saturday is point, and then you go to the finals.
All right,
but anyways, let's
here's my
go
beef
to
thing. Here's my
lightweights.
beef thing about the lightweight versus and heavyweight split overall.
Okay.
It was a good idea to do at the time. All right. Now what happened? You see what had happened is it was just like what we said. Ross was winning that most of the time. He said, it's not fair. They should be able to have their shine because Hamid would leave the tournament with $200
Right.
prize for
Right.
his lightweight
Now,
grand.
that
and
to me, I don't like. Yeah.
and that was it.
Yeah.
So he would go through everything, lose a close fight, and Ross would leave with 1,200,
Right.
and Hamid would do the same, everything except for
Yeah.
0.2, and would
Yeah.
leave with 2. And it was like,
See, yeah, that.
and he
that
was
part
like,
to me
"This is
makes
not
no
fair." So
sense.
what they decided, they go, "Oh, okay, we'll split." And now, constantly, you're left feeling like,
Hey, there could
"Well,
be
we didn't
more.
want them to not fight each other
Right.
because nobody wants that."
No, but if you made it through your division and then your divisional grand and then your pretty much your overall grand to make it to against the heavyweight, I mean, you should be getting more than $200. And I liked how Pan Am's does it. They do 1,000, and then the two go against each other for an extra 500.
But see, they would go at each other if it was just for an award.
Some would.
They
Yeah,
would.
You're right.
They
yeah,
would. No, they
You're right.
totally would.
Right.
You
Well,
know? All
I think
right.
yeah, but I think there needs to be the bonus, the bonus money. I think there needs to be.
I
But
think
anyways,
it's, I think it's
let's
good.
get into the lightweights and let's talk about that because
Let's.
for me, we start going way back. I don't think you can mention lightweights without Howard Jackson, and I know I'm going way back on that, but this dude was always in the finals going against the heavyweight, and now was he always successful, having to fight Jeff Smith? No, but he stuck in there. He was a beast. This guy was, one of the best of all time in that era, that 70s era.
Oh, you went way back.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
So
I didn't go back that far.
Right. So he would be one, as far as that 80s and maybe even the late 70s, let's see, who anybody, any names
I
coming
did
out?
not go. See,
See, you don't go
the
that
only
far. All right.
one, well,
Tony?
there's a reason. the only one I considered being in that one, but I'm like, once I start to say the name, I'm like, there's more than 10 guys better. All right, what's Arlene
Boom.
Lima saying?
Exactly.
Larry
Yep.
Tankston.
Yeah, Keith was one that I wanted to make sure he was a lightweight. I'm
Joey
pretty
Shifley,
sure.
Keith Vitale for sure.
Yeah,
Gordon.
definitely.
Ooh, now see, she said a name I was thinking of,
Yeah.
Gordon Franks.
Right.
All right.
Yeah,
but-
and of course KA. I mean, yeah.
right.
Those are all. I mean, ones that you've got to put in there. Joey, man. I mean, he still can go and fight
Larry
now.
Tankston.
And
Larry
Tankston
Tankston Sr.
be
is
in there.
definitely one of the ones I thought about.
Yes.
Jerry Prince was one of the ones I thought about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But really, I'm gonna go a little later down the road, and I'm gonna say,
well, and Tony Young was in that era.
Tony
too,
Young.
So, yeah.
I'm gonna say Tony Young.
Yeah. So, but see, I think that people. So Tony Young was a super lightweight, but there was also great lightweights that were, the weight class above too. So
yeah.
So I mean, I think, man, there's some great ones. So I mean, I have to say Keith has to be up there. Keith Vitale. I mean, he was the #1 fighter in the world for what, 2-3 years.
But see,
so,
I started thinking about that stuff too. But then when you go, all right, there's only 10 spots. People say that all the time, like, oh, you got to put this one in the top 10. You got to put this one in the top. There's only 10.
Well, if we're going to go a top 10, we're just saying top lightweights right now. We're talking about this. Once we get down to that, but we got to put names up, who are ones that you think, especially from that era, that need to be in there.
Pedro.
Yes, we're not even into that yet. Well, he started in the late 80s, so but yeah, I mean there's ones that are like that. I would think that a lot of people would put Keith in their top 10 of over, and as well as Howard Jackson. Larry, for me, it's his longevity that was great.
That guy still fights. He still trains.
Right. So you had that as we get into that late 80s, and of course you got to put Tony Young in there. When we get in that late 80s to early 90s into the 90s, Pedro, the Bradys are ones.
Ronald was the middle.
Light middle, yes. So again, to me, that's
okay. So then there we go. Then we got to start talking about.
So
that.
I just look at. So we say you have 6 at that time. You got 6. What was the bottom? Right, the bottom was the lightweights. But I get it.
All right.
And especially
okay.
the way
then
it is
go.
now. But yeah, it.
So we're saying
him
light category, heavy category.
Right.
All right.
So
then, yeah.
For me, I mean, there's also ones that kind of that were lightweights or light middle, or even they were middle at some times. They kind of went back and forth, like Ibby. Ibby was at times, He was a great middleweight. He was a great lightweight.
Hey, people chime in. Let us know who you guys think should be in the top 5, top 10. Who's the best lightweight fighter of all time? Stuff like that. We're just like, stop the conversation. This is the guy. Go ahead. Put him in there.
Yeah. So I mean, and there's different ones that. Let's see who else in the 90s.
Kevin Thompson.
Yes, we already mentioned him, but yeah, Kevin Thompson.
Oh, did we? Okay, my
bad. Yeah. There's how am I? I mean, some that were spoilers. Where someone like a Marty Eubanks, he was a spoiler. He would win overalls a lot and then beat certain people, but consistently, I don't know if he was in that top 10, but he was, for me, always one that would spoil, and surprise people. There's ones, let's see, as you get into that, still, it was mostly like not dominated by Pedro, but Pedro and Donald were the ones that really led the charge during that time, in that, at least, but again, we're talking about just the lightweights. Manny Reyes Jr. has to be in there. In that talk. Of course, Tony Young, which we keep bringing him up, but he lasted the 80s and 90s. So, I don't know. Who are someone else maybe in that time that you're thinking of?
I don't really see. I only can think about the guys I would put in the top 10. That's all. I don't even really get into that deep. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you're getting it more cerebral about it than I was.
Well, yeah, because it's we're talking about like 30, 40 years of, well, more than that, 50 years of of martial arts. So again, it's more than that, and then you can't. some eras are different. So again, like someone like a Howard Jackson is what he did back then was just crazy. And he was probably 140 pounds.
All right, let's put it like this.
So,
there are some guys today that are super talented that I don't think will hold a candlestick to guys then. Like I think Enrique Latona might go out and just start. Who knows? He might just start winning every lightweight overall, and that's incredibly possible.
Yeah,
but I don't think he'd touch KA. I don't think he'd beat Kevin Thompson, right?
Currently, no.
No.
We don't know where he's at.
If you put Kevin Thompson,
yeah,
at his peak in today's game with Enrique, I think Enrique beats him.
Okay.
I don't think you could put Enrique
in that era.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah. It's different.
What you got to do is are there guys today that could go there and beat them? Yes, there are some.
Yeah, there are some.
And who are the guys at that time that could come now and win? There are some. Who are the fighters that transcend eras?
Right.
Let's get into it.
Well, yes, but let's get into the 2000s. All right, who are some of the best lightweights during
Robbie
that
LeBlanc.
time? Robbie, okay,
Robbie.
Robbie. Again, you still have Manny, who is still, doing it at that time.
Is it year 30 at that point?
There's some that had like a real dominant 2 or 3 years, but didn't go throughout. Like I always mention how awesome like a Russ Taylor was to me. But again, overall, he was a great lightweight, but he didn't do well against heavyweights, and that's kind of where some people kind of look at. That's why I think
really, if you think about it, like Kodak had a long span of always being like the number one guy in his division. He was
in his division, yeah.
But he didn't win. I don't think
until Diamonds,
until that one time,
right?
Which I feel a little certain way about that fight, by the way.
Yes, Brett, I agree. Same thing, man. It's where are we making the weight class limit? Different leagues, different classes.
You got it. So Brett's right.
I'd say
we talked
160
about this.
and under. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, maybe. I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we get into there, it's Willie,
Jack Felt,
Robbie.
But he's right. We're in that time now. Now we're in the 2000s. So we're talking about that.
Well, and then you also have Ahmed. You have
Hamid.
Yeah, Hamid. I mean, definitely.
I talked to a couple of guys. I tell you what, Coach. When I just say Coach on the show, I'm talking about Conrad. Right? Coach said, this was at a certain time, and he said, the two fighters that can adjust the best that I've ever seen are Raymond Daniels and Hamid Feruzzi. And I'm like, ooh, that's putting him up there.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. And I even said that to him, like, ooh, that's putting him in short list.
Yeah.
He goes, that's the truth. That's it. And Coach feels a certain way about a few guys. All right. Jason Borelli and Hamid Feruzzi, they're his guys.
It's true. Yeah. Keith Scott won like 7 in a row back in the 90s. And, dude, he was killing it back then. In that weight class, that's a really light weight class. But you got to give him his props. Keith Scott was doing great. I know for me, there's also people, though. So there's certain ones, like when we think Raymond, we just think overall one of the best, if not. And yes, another great one, Ryan McGriff.
No, but Ryan McGriff's a great kicker. Ryan McGriff is not one of the greatest lightweights of all time.
All right. Anyways, we're still listing names. Okay. So, but Raymond and even Jason, some of their best times in their career were as lightweights. When Raymond eventually moved up actually at one point, Jason moved up before Raymond did. Raymond was in lightweight in like the 2000, 2001. And Raymond was lightweight and Jason was light middle. Right. And so then they switched, and then 2004 Jason went down, Raymond moved up, middle. And 2004 was one of Jason's best years. He beat Raymond more times. He won so many different fights. He was just cutting so much weight. So I know most people think of Jason as a middleweight because I guess overall in his career he was more there. But some of his best years were as a lightweight. And I think the same way with like a Jack. Jack to me is still, even though he may be a light middleweight, or whatever it is, light welter, or whatever that is now.
He ain't never been over 165.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like he's still a lightweight to me.
I bet he's not even. I bet he's 160.
And he's not that tall either. So I mean, we're
No.
talking about and so I have to put him in that lightweight category. Who's anyone else? Right? I mean, I know there's some that are on the come up.
We're talking about the 2000s. One of my favorite, but he was a competitor of the week of mine before. Was Kyle Richards.
Kyle Richards was a fun one.
Fun.
Yeah,
very fun. Very fun.
He had the potential and talent to be one of the best.
But if he would have dedicated himself,
exactly. We all know.
Dedicated himself. Yeah. He wouldn't have been Kyle Richards.
Well, sure. I get you on that one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, so I'm just gonna go in no particular. Go ahead.
Are we talking? What about any from overseas that we're not thinking about as far as lightweights?
See, now that's where I was gonna go.
Robbie Hughes is someone that Robbie Lavoie would say was one of his best opponents.
There's
ever.
A few guys that I would say the lightweights over there are deep, but the lightweights over there that could really win over here. Right? Richie Verez.
Yep.
Robbie Hughes.
And I'm not sure about any others right now. I don't know. Yeah.
No, Alex Lane's a lightweight. Alex Lane fought lightweight.
I think he's a lightweight.
Would you consider him a lightweight? No. Alex Lane was a lightweight.
Right. When he won his first overall, he was a lightweight.
Alex Lane was a lightweight all the time. Fought light middle. He was always a lightweight.
You're saying he moved. Oh, I get what you're saying.
He would weigh in with a backpack and shoes on.
True.
All right. I ain't lying.
Right. Yeah. So again, those are just coming on. We're talking about greatest lightweights of all time. Put your Matrixes had a lot of potential. He did. He never stuck with it the way he should have or could have. There's several super lightweights that I thought were great. Like again, Ski is one of my favorite ones. Chris Lay was a great one. Some of those guys. I'm still thinking I'm missing somebody. But
who are some of the guys within the last 10 years?
So where would we put Bailey? Is he a lightweight?
Yes.
Didi
Baptista.
Mm-hmm.
Didi Baptista. Yeah, and that was a good one in the 90s. All right.
Yeah.
So Bailey would be in there because he's not because. But now you got to ask yourself.
That's what I'm saying.
Is he in that top 10?
We don't know yet.
Why do we not know yet? Let's stop for a moment. Let's think about that. I started thinking about this.
Uh-oh.
Right? I heard somebody make this take that I thought was dumb. And somebody said, and this is another sport, but I'm about to use this analogy here. They said, if Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl MVP, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he stopped playing right now, he'd be a Hall of Famer. And I thought that is the dumbest thing I've ever said. And not stop playing. He said if he never makes it to another Super Bowl, never even makes it to one, he's a Hall of Famer. I thought that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. But is it? Because how many guys who've been in the Hall of Fame only won one Super Bowl? Everybody said Aaron Rodgers was going to be so much greater than Brett Favre. He never went back to another one. All right.
Yeah, right? but look at his. But again, it's an individual award.
So now,
you're looking at
an individual award, right? But now we're talking about in comparison to an individual sport. Right. So what if Bailey, who has won a lot of overalls,
he's won a lot, yeah.
If he never wins another one,
he's won enough to be in that point.
That's the question. Has he won enough?
Again,
I think he probably has.
Everything's different though. He has 8 lightweight overalls. Even if Tony only won 8 in his whole career, he only had a chance of winning overall. I mean, there were like in the 90s, let's remember, it was only lightweight, middleweight. There wasn't many overalls, but maybe 3 tournaments that had overalls, and for him to do that and to win a real overall and not, I hate to say, I'm sorry, but a pure overall, the way that a traditional overall to me it's harder. It's different, and also
right.
So
The guys these last 5 years have been robbed.
Right,
Heck,
right.
We've all been robbed. We've been
Right.
robbed of
We
the
want to see
opportunity
it.
to watch
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I think Bailey definitely could be in the top 10.
He's in there.
Now he could go up based on what he does, so we will see with that. I mean, and someone like an Enrique or even,
No, I think Justin Ortiz needs to be in there.
yes.
All right,
Justin
what's
Ortiz.
Angel saying?
Yep.
Angel saying Tony
These are
Young, Jack
several
Felton,
ones.
Pedro, Mallory Woods. Okay. Bailey Murphy, Ronald and Donald Brady, Marty Eubanks, Mike Conroy, and Kevin Walker. Now, Kevin Walker was the interesting one. Are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, that's right. Where we put Kevin?
I think you got to go light. Kevin's low. Kevin's always been lighter. He has.
Okay. Yeah,
and
yeah.
You got to do the same thing with Kevin, though. You got to do the same thing that we were talking about. What if Kevin doesn't win?
He could be. All right. I'm not. All right. Again, once we start really digging in and kicking people out with the top 10, we're like, oh, this is getting smaller. But
that's what I'm saying.
But he's on the cusp. You know what I mean?
Why?
He's right there.
No, see, that's what I'm gonna say. If Bailey's in now, why isn't Kevin?
I'm not saying he's in. I'm just saying he's in that talk. Okay. He's in the discussion. I haven't even created a top 10 yet. I'm just saying, like, chill out, Holmes. Like, golly.
I'm wound up. I'm excited.
But he's someone that, I mean, these ones are still active. It's tough. But again, for me, I still look at them compared to someone who I know. There's two people that still compete now that I would definitely put in my top 10, Jack and Robbie.
Right.
And I may even, I don't know if I would put in Richie. I'm not sure. But
no. You know why?
I would probably put Robbie Hughes in before I would put Richie, if I'm going to put someone from Europe in, because of the longevity and the different world titles he's won in different
Richie Perez, and this is no, I was gonna say it's not a knock, but then I was about to knock him. No, it's a knock. Right? Richie Perez has competed a number of times here, and he is extremely talented. Richie Perez has never won an overall here. Richie Perez.
Okay, he won the lightweight overall though, the U.S. Open. I'm just saying. So if you make it to the end, just like how many overalls would Ahmed have won if it was the way it is now? A lot more, right? Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. You can't just say the word overall. How did they get to this? How did they get to that point? All right, because I'm not trying to knock the people that are competing now, but it's still not the same.
All right, so let's look at that though. So Richie Perez, because this happened, right?
Right.
People make blunders. It happens. All right. It's all right. I don't think it was a blunder. I thought when he fought Jamal Albini for the final at the U.S. Open, people thought it was like, wow, like how the heck did Jamal Albini get there? Beating Raymond Daniels in the fight to make it to the finals.
Right.
And people thought, wow, he's had this great fight. Now you got to go fight Richie. Oh, man. That was literally the buzz around the tournament.
Right.
Richie got beat. Richie got beat by Jamal. He didn't win. All right. Now some of the wins, like over what?
No, I thought that he was in the final the year before, too. I thought he'd been in the final.
Yeah, he was in the final the year before, too. And he lost the year before as well.
Right. But again, I'm just saying. All right. I mean, how many times, and no offense to any other legends that I'm saying, but how many times have we seen videos of Tony losing to Nasty? How many times have we seen? I mean, so we can't just put it with this person because they're lightweight and
so that. We gotta have.
And one more person we're forgetting about right now too is Elijah. So Elijah, again, I mean,
now that one seems early.
Okay, if that one's early, then why is Bailey early?
Because Bailey's been doing it for like 5 years almost.
No, it's been 2 years that he's been, and he's won a great amount. Elijah's done the same thing.
It's not been 2 years. Hasn't he been doing this since like 2016?
All right, so I thought it was 17, 18, 19, so 3 years. Okay.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, he's 19 now, so I know he's been doing it since he was 16. So maybe,
Well, all right. So Richie Perez, he's very good and he does his game great.
Yeah.
And it's the thing is, his strategy. You see his strategy leading up to it. And the Hungarian that I have the most respect for, the Hungarian I have the most respect for is probably going to shock you, is Laszlo. All right.
Okay.
I think he is the best. I think he's the most talented of that group. And he has the least amount of success. He's the least decorated of all of them. And he's the best in my mind. Right. So with Richie gets a lot of benefit. I mean, we've all, and if you haven't, go ahead and watch this, guys. Go ahead and watch.
Irish Open.
Watch the 2013 final of the Irish Open.
Yeah.
Watch the 2013 final of the Irish Open. YouTube that sucker. And then tell me that you think that's fair.
Right.
Nobody can. Nobody can. All right?
Right.
And who was that against? Oh, what up, Pedro?
Oh, there he is. What's up, Pedro?
Oh, man, look at that.
One of the greats.
Me?
One of the greats of
we're
all
talking
time.
about right now gives us a what up. That's it. We can end the show.
That's right. All right, so we just kind of discussed all the different ones. Do you want to even make a top 5? Do we want to do that right now, or do
we
that
need
on
to? I think we need to just agree on who's in the top 10, regardless of where we're slotting them. We need to agree on where this top 10 is. You know what I mean?
Who are the ones that we would put in there?
Right, who's going to be in the top 10?
All right, Pedro. Tony Young.
Because we're going to add a lot more, then we're going to have to cut some back.
Well,
Pedro, Tony Young.
All right, let's just kind of go around the ones that we can think that that stand out in our mind. So,
are we saying Jason Burley's a lightweight?
I think he can be in the lightweight and the middleweight. Great. So I'd say yes.
See, now wait a minute now, because we said we're going light, heavy.
Yeah, but all right, correct.
I know,
so
that's the hard one.
Yeah,
right?
so I think, I think so.
Then Jason Burley's in.
Yeah,
Hamid's in.
Jack
is definitely in.
Robbie. All right.
Now we got to start getting in there. We got 6.
So for me, I know we may dispute on this one. I'd put Keith in there. I'd put Keith Vitale in there.
Keith Vitale, that's 7.
Yep.
All right.
Me personally, I would put Howard Jackson there. I don't know if you would. You don't.
That's
really,
8.
Yep.
That's 8.
KA.
That's 9. We're gonna add, like I said, we're gonna have to add more, and then we're gonna start the, where do you put this one? What about Bailey?
Yeah.
Put him in there. Okay, so Bailey's there.
There, so that's 10.
Donald Brady. What about Donald Brady?
Well, that's why I would probably put Donald in there.
Okay. So we got Donald. We got to think about
Manny Reyes. Golly, see, I knew we missed one. Manny Reyes Jr. I would definitely think he's got to be up there.
Okay, so now we got 2. We got to cut somewhere. And then, what about Justin Ortiz?
He definitely could be, man. I mean, he's one of my favorite lightweights.
All right. So who?
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to throw in Elijah as well. I think you got to put him in there.
Now you're putting it now. Now we're at what? We're 14 people over.
14. Yeah. So I mean, and there's probably some other people could say, but I think
who are we cutting out? Larry Tankston Sr.
Yeah.
As great as he is, I don't think he can be there just because he didn't compete and beat those guys enough times. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Right.
I don't know if that's necessarily accurate, but yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it's tough. Man, no one else is helping us out either. No one wants to.
No, because you got to put your.
In.
Well, Angel put his on there.
Yeah,
he definitely did.
I mean, I think some of those are maybe his favorites. I mean, I loved watching Marty Eubanks was one of my favorite fighters to watch fight. Mike K, Pedro. Yeah, Raymond was.
Raymond was a lightweight.
But he was also a lightweight and a super lightweight. Yeah.
Damian Rodriguez is a good. No, Damian's not. Damian can't be
not in there, but he
could be in the top 20 honorable mention.
Top 25. Yeah,
it's an honorable mention.
Yeah,
Damian Rodriguez is. Now, see, here's a messed up thing. I don't know.
See, that's a tough one too, because that as
Willie.
far as getting overalls in a time when there was only one league doing overalls, and he's beating Trevor for overalls, and he's beating guys like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Willie. All right.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Yeah, I know.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'd take Willie
So
over
that's
Elijah.
15.
I'll tell you that.
All right.
Willie's career over Elijah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
think about it so far.
No, I know.
2020.
It's
We'll
I
probably
know,
do this
man.
thing
This is
again in
crazy.
2021.
I
Who knows?
know.
You know?
So
We'll probably update our kickers list at some point.
yes.
Well,
we
I
probably
know
will.
I'll have to. You
Yeah.
probably won't have to as much because nobody wants to kick in forms anymore.
There's some people. I see a lot of kids coming
Good.
out, but we'll see. There's one I know. Yeah, and Willie has a winning record against Raymond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's madness to me. That's just it's amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
So
All right. So
man,
now
this
we're
is-
at
this has been
15.
great
Are
talking
we at
about it.
15?
we're at 15. So,
So we
I
got
mean, it's
so we got to
tough.
cut guys out. Who are we cutting out? We're not slotting them. We're not organizing the order.
No, we're
we
not
got-
doing
we
a
got-
number
we
one or none of that. No, we're just figuring
All right,
out top 10
so who's
between
gotta
you
go?
and I.
Who's got to go? Take 2 out.
I'll take Donald out. You know what?
Okay.
And
I'll take Howard Jackson out.
I knew you were going to say that. See it.
It's the talent level. I'm talking about guys who could win on multiple eras. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the only reason. It's not knocking what the guy did. It's not knocking what somebody does. That's why,
Right.
like, when I made my kickers list, people were upset that I didn't put Bill Superfoot Wallace in. In no way I'm going to put a guy in on a top 20 kickers list who has to step up into their kicks in order to kick somebody. You would kick 0 people today, 0 times. So it's not that. Okay, so Donald's out, Howard Jackson's out. Who else you taking out? I'm not even gonna. Whatever you say is just whatever you say.
I don't know. Do we take out Manny? Do we keep him in?
The reason why I think you have an argument for that is Manny fought lightweight sometimes, fought middleweight sometimes.
But
He
when he
did.
was most successful, he was a lightweight.
But how?
And- No, I mean, and for the longest time, he was the only person that would beat Tony Young. So that is, so again, that just shows Tony Young's greatness. When you are, and I think that's why Donald gets a lot of credit too, is because of
All right.
how many times he beat Pedro. So those two are definitely.
So who would you take? Who would you keep? KA or Manny?
KA.
All right, Manny's got to go.
Yeah. And I may
Alright.
be wrong. I don't know, but that's my opinion. So, hey.
Alright.
So who else?
So we got 1 more. We got to go. We got 2 more. We got to go.
So, yeah, I mean, are we taking out Elijah Bailey? Are we taking out Jason? Which I think
No.
what he did as a
No
lightweight was
chance.
great.
The greatest kicker of all time.
Right. I'd say Pedro would be Pedro and Jason, but yeah.
I've already made the list. Jason's the greatest. I've already made the list.
All right. Who else we got to take out? Are you keeping Keith Vitale in?
The reason why I feel like he's got an argument to stay in, I'm going to make the argument, and then I'm going to take him out, is because of
Coach just chimed in. Well, he's
Of-
coming in.
of how much he did early on. Like, he literally kind of was the launching pad for a lot of success for
Right.
not just lightweight fighters, but fighters.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Now I think
and
we have to
again-
make an argument to take him out.
But see, again, like we're talking about one of the only guys who was the number 1 fighter in the world who was a lightweight. You know?
Talk me. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
So
I will listen.
yeah. So
I
don't know,
can
it's a
be
tough one.
talked in and out of something. I can have conversations.
Yeah. I mean,
I-
there's so many that can say. I mean, but I'd have to put Jack in there. I have to keep. I think.
We're keeping Willie. We're keeping Jack. We're keeping
Are we keeping Ahmed in?
yes.
I know you would want. Yeah. I mean, I respect what Ahmed did as well in that era.
Pedro.
and Pedro, Tony, Ka.
Yeah.
And who do we forget some people? Jason,
Bailey.
sorry. Bailey. And Elijah, and who's the other one?
I mean,
or we can take Elijah out and say, hey, a little bit more. I don't know, but now we forgot someone that we see. This is harder than you think. But yeah, guys, so we're talking about top lightweights. Yeah, Robbie has to be in there.
Robbie and Justin Ortiz.
So we have one to get rid of. Well, we still didn't put Keith in there, so really we have 12. So we either get rid of one, get rid of two of those guys. So I'm still going to keep Keith in that list of those people. So I would take someone either like a Justin or, I mean, even maybe an Elijah right now off. I don't know.
I would take Elijah out, not because he's not great, and right now the dude's on top. But he had a year and a half of dominance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So far, yeah.
Shit, we didn't even put in. Okay, so Travis has got a good question.
Yeah, that is
What's
good.
the rationale for Hamid over Larry Tankson?
Right.
And it's just the amount of times for competition.
But that's in your eyes, though.
No, this is
Alex.
also from his mouth.
Right, but Larry competed
he would have beat everyone. I compete when
but he didn't travel those guys.
But I didn't travel to go. When they came to me, I won.
Right.
But it would be once or twice a year.
That's true. I did hear him say that. Yeah, that's true.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like that's not me saying that. That's
in that era. But then he did travel a lot more in the '90s, and he was beating people that were half his age or whatever. So, I don't know. That's a tough one, but I get the argument, and that would probably be the only thing I would say too.
All right, we got to make our final cuts. Let's go over our top 10 one more time. All right.
Oh Lord.
Pedro,
Tony,
K.
Did we keep in Keith Vitelli?
Fine, keep him in.
Yes, Keith Vitelli.
And then Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Robbie.
Mm-hmm. Are we saying Willie?
Willie.
What are we forgetting now?
We're not forgetting. We're deciding.
Yeah.
We got 2 spots. Okay, we've decided on those. We've got 2 spots. Do we do Hamid? Do we do Bailey? Do we do...
Who's the others?
Elijah.
And Justin. Yeah, I would say...
Justin. I think Hamid's
I would say Ahmed. And
now we got a final spot. Who are you going to put in the final spot?
Who's won the most?
Wait, we did say Willie. Right? We did say Willie.
Yeah. Who's won the most of that time?
I'm wondering why we're taking Donald Brady out again.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, me too. I am now.
The more we're
back in. Yeah,
the more we're looking at this. Thank you, Coach.
I agree.
Donald Brady.
Now
we took him out, and I'm sitting here going, "Why did we do that again?"
Yeah. No, I agree. But I think we had to at first to be like,
to realize we were being stupid. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think so.
So there you go, folks. That's the top 10. You rank them. Who's number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? It would bust our heads too much to do a top 5 right now. We'll let y'all do that.
Yeah, I don't even want to do that right now. And there's still some, like, I don't even think I'm not going to say my favorite lightweight's not in there, but there's several that I really enjoyed that aren't even in there, but like I said,
who is it?
Well, no, not saying like my favorite lightweight. That's a hard one. A lot of those are in there, but there's some like I said, Marty and Russ Taylor, who are some of my favorites that I love watching. That had success as well. Those are 2 of my favorites. But no, I mean Pedro. Oh, another one was Ibby that wasn't in there as well. But yeah, man. And I like
see that now. Remembering that, because we're not perfect, guys.
No.
Thinking of that makes me want to go, all right, you got to go rethink yourself now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We left out Ibby. What the frick are we going to do now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. I'm gonna let it lie until somebody else calls us dumb.
That's right.
All right. Let's look at this.
All right. So we were talking about what do we think the future of forums is going to look like, right?
Homie.
What style is going to be the next thing? Are we going to get the same over and over formula? You know, are we going to get the same everyone when someone comes out with a new traditional form that everyone copies it? Probably. Yes. Who's going to change it? What's going to happen? You know? And again, I don't even want to talk about weapons. Let's just talk about open hand forms. All right. So, because I think there are people that are pushing the envelope in weapons and are trying to do that. I still think there needs to be a good mix of creative style strikes with, you know, and kind of stepping up that element of it, of getting a little bit more innovative than that. But as far as with forms, yeah, I mean, I think people are wanting kicks back a lot, but I still think that if you can get high, people, that there's something about that. When you can get up in the air, it's just something about that. It catches you. Like,
jumping.
Whoa. Yeah, jumping. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, you know what though? Here's what we all want it to look different. We all want a new trend.
Yeah, I think new trends.
We want the trends to stop almost. Right? We want them to stop being trends and people start being original.
We want it to be to where there's a division and the top four all are completely different. They all stand out on their own. And I think that, you know, that's kind of missing in the very top tier in certain eras. I think, you know, there was that real different element, you know, like when it was like Matt Emming and Mark Canizzato and who's the other?
Even when you went back,
Micah, all of them had different styles, but you you look at Mike Chat, John, and Carmichael, different styles, similar in some ways, but different styles. In
that era, my favorite in that era was Jimmy Pham.
Right, but yeah, as far as a junior competitor,
he had a freaking awesome style that nobody else could replicate and really tried. He did stuff that people were like, okay, yeah, but I'm not doing that.
It wasn't what he did, it was how he did it. It was a smooth, almost like a wushu into a taekwondo pop that was different, and he put a style on it. You know, there's certain ones. There's a lot, you know, to that. I'd like to see people use the ring more. When I was growing up, the whole thing was who could use the whole entire ring. And someone that always comes to my mind is a Hiro Koda. If you watch his form, he would be at every freaking corner of the ring doing stuff and making it work. And that was something that was different. Some people do their form, I've been guilty of as well, in one spot, staying in the center or in the front of the ring or in the back of the ring, you know, or everyone does the corner, then go back, jump front kick, done, you know. So I would just love to see some more originality. You know, you don't have to start your form with the round off X out or Jesus flip. You don't have to do the round off flash to the corner.
But people need to resource people like Steve Terada.
Right.
That dude was a choreographed like genius. But what makes me nervous that nothing's going to change is, did I tell you about how I felt about like the Cobra Kai fight scenes?
Yeah, we talked about that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I hate it, right?
Yeah,
I hate it. But it's when I watch it, it's like I told you, like I'm watching someone's creative form there, and I'm watching over-exaggerated. No, the creative forms would be better, but I'm watching over-exaggerated movements that are clearly not realistic, right?
Right.
Which is fine if you go like, hey, guys, this is just a performance. I'm just doing a form. That's fine, but it's also looking the same as there's nothing different. That's why people tune out. When Arlene Lima said, when women would go up to fight, when they would announce the women's fight, that's when people would go get a beer.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
You know what? It ain't much different with all the forms. When all the forms are the same, sometimes people do that.
Yep, they do.
Unless you get to the point, like when I get up and go, I'm like, my brain needs a break. because I'm literally just looking at the same thing. My brain's not even working, right?
Right.
When I come back, I still want to know what the heck happened.
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. No,
I
I
feel
want to know who
guilty
wins,
about it.
so
Like
that
I
way I
still
can
want to
figure out.
know.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct. And again, like we're saying overall, we're not saying there aren't people that are leading the way. And I think that there are, certain ones that are trying to do something different. I still think it could always get better because why not? Why can't everything get better? Right? That's just
What do
the
we
way I
need?
think.
Okay, what needs to happen? What are 3 things that need to happen for the
Well,
evolution of forms to get a lot better?
so I think in some ways you have to go back to go forward. So I'd like to see more kicks.
I love
That's
that.
me. That's
More
me.
standing kicking.
More standing kicking in a way that doesn't mean go backwards and do the same kick combo that everyone else did, because that's something I don't like. I don't like when people say, "Oh, well, I threw a side kick, and so now I should be okay," or "Oh yeah," like a few years ago, people were, "Oh man, he did the triple kick like John Valera. That was so cool. You should love that." Like, yeah, but John Valera did that 20 years ago, or whoever did that 20 years ago. How is he going to take that kick and make it into his own thing? So why can't you do a triple kick into a cork or into your next hyper full type thing, right? Why can't you
Start
do,
taking notes, guys. If you should be listening.
scissor kick into split or something crazy like that? Something, just something different, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean go back and do exactly what they did. It means do it in your own way, right? So that is, to me, I think something that you could take martial arts and take to the next one, But yeah, there's that. And
Brett's saying right now, contemporary forms all have the same line.
mhm.
Anything that changes it up, I can't stand watching every competitor, except Jeff, go to the corner, do the gymnastics, run to the other corner.
Right.
Brett is right on.
Yeah.
You know what else? You know what else is aggravating? The fact that the opening sequence before the form starts takes longer than the form.
Yeah.
And that we're sloppy about our approach. The form itself is very calculated, and the technique, I will say, overall as a whole, is very good today.
Yeah.
People's hands are very good. Way better
than
than they've ever been.
Yeah, I agree on that.
So why are we just walking around the ring? We're just literally walking, head down, not even looking, just walking, fixing your uniform. Stop fixing the uniform. If you got to fix the uniform, wear a different uniform.
Oh, man.
Mike's saying that's why it's a crime. Rashad isn't winning more. Well, he's right.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Rashad's watching.
In weapons. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
Rashad should really do that. Someone has to change, has to force change by winning. People are copycats. You know what? That's right on. Travis said
that's
that.
True.
Because as we started thinking, what's going to change? The culture really has to change a little bit, that people will see something different and want to look at that and go, I can beat that with something else. But right now, that's not the culture. If somebody does something different, what people are going to go is, I want to do that because that is what's winning. Now, that's what the judges really like.
So it was different in the 2000s, because in the early 2000s, it kind of got, okay, everything has changed. Jimmy Fallon moved up. Butch Marks isn't competing as much. What can we do to stand out? And it was like, all right, what's winning? Yeah, what's winning? Okay, well, at that point, Steve Serrato started winning. But then it kind of got where, honestly, at that point, the junior 15 and 17 division was one of the best ever. And everyone had their own type of thing, that was
amazing. The best ever. Between 2000 and 2003, I don't think it's ever been better.
Right.
Right.
And so all of us were like, well, how do we stand out? And really, that was when people started doing crazy things, either tricks, or they were doing creative things that were either comedy, that were either stuff that didn't make any sense, that were, how to get the crowd into it, or even like using crazy entrance music, something to just get everyone to come in. And I think that's missing in some aspect. Now there are some people that do, like again, I'm still thinking weapons. That's my only problem, is when I'm thinking of the creative people, I'm thinking weapons right now, like a
Well, I'm
Dalton
not.
and like
Let's
a
think about
Rashad.
that time frame that you're talking about. That time frame
No,
you're
I'm talking about right
about.
now though. The people that are doing that now, I still think weapons, not really
Well,
forms.
here's part of the problem is because you hit the nail on the head when you were talking about that era. So you're talking about that era, and what else was happening? What was different about that era from now? It wasn't extreme forms. It was open forms.
Yeah.
Because there
Open
was
and musical. Yeah.
right. They had
Right.
open. They had musical. They had traditional.
Right. Yeah.
Now
It's true.
they did split Japanese and Korean. They did do that. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Chinese had their division too.
Right.
Right. But there wasn't the split of creative, extreme. Creative is just we're just watching you under a microscope with
Right.
the thought of you better not do too much of what we don't like, or we're gonna disqualify you. We're just
Right.
looking for reasons to disqualify you.
Well,
You're
and
doing
I-
extreme
yeah.
light. That's what you're
Well,
doing. Not even
and at
doing
the
it
time
creative form.
too, and at the time too, you had two leagues that were both at their height, and everyone had
Yep.
a different. There were people that were doing crossover, and there were some people that were doing better in one league or the other. I mean, you had some people that were doing NASCA that didn't do well when they went to NBL, and then you had the
Yes.
vice versa. So, and you had
Steve
some people-
Tirada, I actually think was one of them.
He did all right. I mean, he when he went to NBL, he did pretty well. But there was
But
also
wasn't there
high
the
level
rule,
of people. Huh?
That you had to kick 3 times? You had to do a state at least.
Yeah.
And that works against someone like Steve.
Yeah, but he could do it in the air, so it didn't matter. So, but the choreography rule is what hurt him in there originally. Then he learned how to do it later on. But there's all kinds of things like that. But there's people like like a Daryl Lewis that was great, and Jesse Jones that were great in NBL, and the seeds and stuff kind of messed with them a little bit in NASCA. But they did have some success in NASCA. So
Daryl Lewis is a good one.
Yeah.
The other one that comes to my mind is Anthony Murata.
Yep.
Because Anthony Murata was doing, he was winning his divisions, beating guys like Will Valentine, Marcel Jones, Steve Tirada, we've mentioned a ton of times.
Yeah.
Right? He was beating those guys, and I think his biggest move was to 540.
Right.
And he still did
super clean. Yeah.
Super clean.
Yeah.
He was like the new era of Mike Chat.
So my only thing with that, I loved his cleanliness and everything, and I guess that's my only thing. It was like, okay, how did he make it his own? You know what I mean? And I think really for him, it was just it being so clean.
Sure.
But what I'm saying is like if someone now went back and just did Anthony Murata's form, I don't think that's the same. And there were certain people like that. They said, I thought you were all about, because I would be judging people and they'd be like, I thought you were all about wanting to see kicks in this. I'm like, yes, but you have to take it to the next level. You can't.
But it's 2020.
Bring it. Yeah, you can't bring it back, and you have to bring it back to go forward. So bring, do a side kick into something else, or if you're going to do like multiple kicks, do a crap load to where people are like, whoa, what the heck? He just did half his form with multiple kicks.
Okay,
that's crazy.
so
but
let's say 3 things that we got to change this. So we got to start standing kicking
to the next level. Yeah. I don't know. Does that go with the same thing I said, go backward to go forward? I don't know. But get rid of if you do
stop copycatting. Stop wanting to do anything someone else is doing.
Yeah. Especially if you're in the adults. If you are in the adult division,
endless.
Yes, I agree. If you're in the adult division, I think by the time you should figure it out already your style, right? It shouldn't be someone else's.
If you don't know if you're there and you don't know what your style is, I'm gonna tell you this: you don't have one.
True. And then
I had one. It wasn't a winning one. It was all right.
Do we think more choreography? Is that one?
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Because you got to think that's the same. Well, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Right.
I still think the corner thing, the changing the lines up as well. That's definitely one. So,
yeah. Totally.
I just
throw some hot sauce on this stuff.
Don't be afraid to just do something new.
And the thing is Jeff and I, we are optimistic.
Oh yeah, I think
because the talent level is higher,
correct,
as a whole than it probably ever has been.
Right.
But its end result leaves us wanting more.
Yes.
And there was
Yes.
times where a tournament, the greatest thing of the finals was someone's form. It wasn't the final fight, right? It was like, oh my freaking goodness.
Yeah.
Did you see John Valera's final form? That would end the night. It would be something
Right.
like that. And you'd be like, my goodness.
Yeah.
You look at that. You see Anthony Atkins just jumped over a freaking building, right?
Yeah. Well, and again, Brett Shumway made another great point, is that it takes a while sometimes, right? It took me 11 years to win an NBL title, okay?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's
No way,
that's
really?
one of the
It
things.
did?
Yeah. And so it
That's a trivia question right there.
but yeah, so I mean, it's one of those things, man. It does take a while, you know, and you just got to keep going and going and going for it. I mean, we're talking about Steve Terada didn't really start winning grands until 2005. So he was in the finals all the time, but he didn't really start winning overall grands until 2005. And then what, 6 and 7 was when those 3 years is when he really started to win more. So
Now you're
yeah,
making my brain think for a moment.
yeah. So
In 2000, before he was on Paul Mitchell.
that's juniors. I'm talking about adults, bud. So
okay, my bad.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
All right.
he won a lot in 2000. Yeah, he won a lot.
I was gonna say, I think that dude
Yeah.
won the diamonds.
Yeah, but it wasn't the diamond ring. Yeah.
All right, but
Yeah,
it's the
adults.
junior forms
Right.
at that
I'm
time.
talking about adults. Okay, so
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's right.
yeah,
And
so,
and then you know what I think it was? I think it took judges a while to figure out that his style was really freaking good. I think they were thrown off by his style. His forms,
I think so.
if someone repeated those forms today, I think some of those forms could actually come forward from a form from 15 years ago.
Right.
Can you imagine saying that? A form from 15
you also
years
got to
ago
think though too,
could be
like,
competitive today?
when he was on stage, he's also competing against Kim Do, who had probably the best choreography or creative choreography at the time. You also had Anthony Atkins, who was at the height of his game at that time. And you had John
Kalman
Su.
Choka.
Kalman was, I'm not really in forms, but in John Su really at that time was the most dominant as far as going to tournaments.
You're right. You're right. He was.
That, you know, and then you also had DX. So, I mean, it was either John or DX really, and then everyone else was kind of fighting for that. So it was.
There was a lot of others.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man. So as we talk about that, as we've been talking about that, next week we got another great guest. We have Carmichael Simon. So Carmichael Simon is going to. We are going to talk about this big time, and we are going to talk about some things. He has some things that he wants to talk about from our Arlene interview as well.
That's right.
And some history of what he did, what he accomplished, what he wants to see martial arts go, and you know, all kinds of things that he's working on, man. So and also him and I will be commentating with Jackson on the first virtual forms tour. So
I'm excited about that. And buckle up. Jeff and I are saving our competitors of the week for next week too. We want Carmichael to comment on those as well.
Yes. Congrats to everyone that won and that competed last week.
And I'm sorry for those of you that I picked, because apparently I jinxed you.
That's right.
Because it wasn't like you lost by a lot.
No, definitely not. Oh man.
Next time I pick somebody, run to the bank, put your money on somebody else.
And Brett said too, who's going to be the next person to inspire the next generation? Who are going to be those? And so for me, guys, it's like,
I don't think we see that person yet. I think that person is yet to be seen.
But that's a cool goal.
It absolutely is.
Like,
I think that person
for me is just to inspire people to do something different. You know,
I remember growing up, it would be like, I think he inspired me,
like for me, it was hearing people come to me like, man, like you just beat all these people doing crazy stuff, and you did, you know, a 720, but you did things that no one else could do too. You know, it's like you didn't have to jump off the ground to do, you know.
Did hand combos on your knees.
Right, or kick combos on my knee. Yeah.
People probably
Things like- yeah.
kids there like, what are you talking about? And your
Yeah.
knees like,
Yeah.
yes, that happened. That was
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah. So there's things like that, holding twist kicks, stuff like that were cool for me. And I know that,
Dude, my hips hurt looking at that.
like Butch Marks, he may not have won all the overalls, but he inspired a lot of people. I know he inspired me and kind of to get out of my, because I was the clean guy who was the kicker. He inspired me to get
He was
that
the
attitude. And then same thing with like a Daryl Lewis. Butch inspired him as well. All of us kind of just pushed off each other. We were driven by each other. So, and there's others now, they were like that, like Matt Emming. Just amazing competitors that have kept inspired. I think he inspires more of the newer generation than anyone right now. Maybe a Micah Carnes, maybe, a Tyler, but those guys were inspired by Emming, so.
I think Matt Emming is probably everyone's kind of like people's favorite.
Yeah.
Gotta be, man.
Yeah.
It's gotta be. He
Yeah.
wore that Paul Mitchell uniform all the time, and people still love that dude.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. He was like that one.
Yeah, he was
That's
the one
funny.
guy you're like, yeah, but you're okay.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Oh, man. All right.
All right, leave a comment, guys. If you
Yes,
love this
and
episode.
Review, man.
Right. And
Leave a review.
even if you didn't, don't forget to subscribe.
Yes.
Subscribe to all of our other Martial Arts Network podcasts, Fist Kicks and Flicks, CTE. Join us for the main game. All right.
So when we do it.
It'll be out there. Turn on your notifications.
Yes.
Leave
that's
a
true.
review. Tell your friends to subscribe. Help us help you. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I am Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you next week with Carmichael.